Hey. Excuse me. Yeah. You. We're closing up. It's 1 a.m. If you could drink up and make your way out, that'd be grand. If you don't mind me asking, what are you still doing here? You're not with anybody else, right? No, I guess not. At first I thought you were with that group that was sitting right next to you, but I realized pretty quick that you were just chatting with them, right? Like as a stranger. Yeah. So, what's up with that? Pretty strange to be sitting alone in a bar all evening, like you've been. Well, yeah, some people do it, but they tend to have a certain vibe. That, not wanting to go home to the wife vibe, you know? Either that, or the wife doesn't want them to come home. Hey, sure, it's a stereotype, but it's a stereotype because it's true, I'm afraid to say. If someone's still here at closing, 99% of the time, it's because they're on the brink of divorce or something. But that's not you, is it? I don't know what gives me that impression. Just a vibe. Maybe it's because you're young. You don't think of someone at your stage in life having gotten married, let alone getting married and then divorced. Well, I'd say I must be older than you, and I'm not even thinking about marriage yet. But then, everybody's different. Anyway, do you want me to leave you to your drink while you're finishing it? I'll be here for another 15 minutes or so, tidying up, so you can stick around for a bit. Yeah, just tidying. Well, actually, I usually have a quiet one to myself when the last patrons left, before closing up for the evening. That'd usually be about now. Nah, don't worry. You're not putting me out. Some of the regulars might, if they stuck around for longer than they should. But nah, you stay here if you want to. Let me flip the sign, and I'll pour myself something. There we go. Got the place to ourselves. Not in a creepy way. I'm just making an old-fashioned. I like how quick they are to throw together. Something of a ritual for me. I have one of these every night when I'm on shift, which is most nights. Maybe that doesn't sound so healthy now I say it out loud. But whatever. It's only the one. Besides, it's a digestif. Aids with digestion, or it's supposed to, anyway. So that means it's probably good for you, right? It aids digestion. Aids it. So, that's a good thing. Exactly. Glad we're on the same page. Cheers. Yep. Good as ever. Really can't go wrong with one of those. It's the simplicity of it. Perfect. Well, you watched me make it, didn't you? It's literally just a sugar cube, bitters, ice, and whiskey. Don't even need a shaker. Just muddle it. If I was preparing it for a customer, I'd have a garnish of some kind. Orange zest or a maraschino cherry, whatever I'm feeling like, or by request. But I don't normally bother when I'm doing one for myself. Most of the time, anyway. The zest does actually add something to the aroma. It's not just for show, so if I'm feeling fancy or indulgent, I'll add that. Such a relaxing, sleepy kind of drink. I can never have one of these at the start of an evening. It puts me right to sleep. So yeah, what was I saying? Something about marriage. People are different. That's it. You know, some people I went to school with, they were in my year, so they're my age and everything. They got married last year. And I can't get my head around that. Yeah. Honestly, it made me worry about my empathy or something. For a moment, when I saw they were getting married, I actually felt like I must be a completely different species from them. I don't know what's going to need to happen for me to feel like I'm ready to get married, but yeah, I'm sure it's a long, long way away, if it's ever coming. Oh, no, well, I guess I'm not really opposed to the idea of marriage, exactly. Something about the idea of turning a loving relationship into a legal contract feels a little weird to me, but on the other hand, if it's what the heart wants, and I guess it's a pretty firm show of commitment, if nothing else. Maybe that's the problem. I've never really been one for commitment. Yeah, well, I think it's kind of par for the course for a bar worker like me, to be honest. Shift work, often seasonal. I've never worked at the same place for more than a year. Maybe not everybody's like that, but still. Well, no. The last thing is mainly because bars just keep closing down, to be honest with you. Seems like the industry is on a real downward trajectory at the moment. But whatever. I'm sure I'll always find work. Anyway, what about you? You think you'll ever get married? I suppose it's all about meeting the right person, isn't it? I just went on about how I don't see how anybody could want to get married at my age, but I'm sure that if I met someone tomorrow that I fell crazy in love with, I could easily change my mind on the getting married thing. Who knows? So, what were you doing sitting there all by yourself all evening? You seemed pretty chatty, striking up conversation with anybody you liked. It was kind of unusual. Not that anybody minded. No, everybody seemed pretty happy that you wanted to talk to them. But it's not how people normally are around here. Maybe that's why they liked it. It was a break from the norm. But still, how come? Oh, I see. Interesting way of dealing with the problem of being new in town. Maybe once upon a time it was the standard thing to do. Walk into a local bar and just start talking to folks to meet people. I don't know. Not the sort of thing people do anymore, is it? Hell, what do I know? Maybe it is normal. I guess it's just like people getting married. Doesn't make much sense to me, personally, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make sense full stop. Oh, you're really putting me through my paces today. Getting me to think about things. Makes a nice change. How are you liking it here so far, if you're new in town? I don't know. I guess it's alright. Maybe I'd like it a little better if I took your approach to meeting people. I moved here years ago, and it took me a long, long time before I knew someone well enough to call them a friend. You would think, wouldn't you, that with a job like this, where I spend most of my time at work talking to people, that I might make some friends. But regular customers and friends are very different things. I've made 1 or 2 friends through work, I guess. And that's nice. But still, customers are customers. you know. Most of them are nothing more than a hand holding a drink to me. I like your approach, though. Just talking to people, without the premise of selling them a drink, that is. I really do wish I'd tried it. Maybe, if I decide to completely uproot my life and move somewhere new, that's the approach I'll take. Is this your very first day at it here, or? Well, I was just wondering if you'd had good results so far, but if it's literally your first day here, I suppose that remains to be seen. I'd love to hear if it works out for you, though. You'll have to come back here and fill me in sometime. Well, I don't want to spend my day talking to loads of strangers if it won't result in at least one good friendship coming out of it. That's a huge investment in time and energy. I'm exhausted enough from all the socialization after a day of work, let alone doing it in my days off too. Exactly. So once you've told me it actually works, then I'll give it a go. I think that makes sense. Yeah, you'll just have to come back here regularly. I work most evenings. I trust you'll want to be a regular after the excellent service I've provided, right? And, you know, I expect a generous tip after letting you stay late like this. I'm kidding. Don't look so awkward about it. It's been nice talking to someone who isn't crying about their wife and trying to tell me they're definitely safe to drive. You're getting a taxi home, right? No? Surely you're not walking home at this time of night. This is a nice enough city and all, but you know what cities are like. Oh shit, you live upstairs? Okay. Nice. I reckon you'll probably be safe then. If anything happened to you in the 10 seconds it takes to go outside and round the corner to the steps, well, you deserve it with luck that bad. That's a joke, by the way. So, what made you want to stick around so long after closing? If your thing is talking to every random stranger you see, well, look around. No more strangers to talk to. Why do you still want to be here? What? Me? Why me? I'm just the bartender. I don't count as a person, surely. I'm like an NPC. Well, okay then. I hope you think it was worth your time. Well, it's such a late night, too. Hope you don't have anything you need to do tomorrow. Of course. More unpacking. If you've only just moved here, that makes sense. Do you have anybody to help you? Unpacking all your stuff after a move is no fun. I should know, I've done it enough times. I tend to move once a year, kind of out of habit. My family live across the country, so they can't really help, and I don't know. I might have some people that I call friends here, but nobody I really feel close enough to ask to help with something like that. I know it's stupid. The thing is, if any of them needed help, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Of course I would. Hell, I'd probably help a complete stranger if they asked. And yet, I feel unable to ask for help myself. So silly. Oh. Okay. I mean, that's kind of cheeky, you know. Were you hoping I'd give you a reason to ask me for help? Sure. Well, yeah. Okay. I'm not working till 5 p.m. tomorrow, so yeah, I can help out. Well, I did just say that I'd probably help out a complete stranger if they asked. Don't feel like I could really say no now without looking like a complete dick. I wouldn't usually mind so much about looking like a dick to a stranger, but you live right above the bar, so I'd rather not make things awkward between us right away. Sure. Who knows when I might want to nip up to yours on my break to get away from the noise of this place, huh? No, I didn't just invite myself round, don't be silly. But, you know, if I did, you wouldn't mind, would you? I didn't think so. Now, that about does it. I need to close up, I'm afraid. I guess I'll see you sometime tomorrow morning? 11ish, shall we say? I usually get up pretty late after a work night. I don't need to ask for your address, which is handy. Hope that doesn't come across in a creepy I know where you live sort of way. But, well, I do know where you live. Yeah, okay. I'll stop saying that now. Let me take your glass. The boss is pretty finicky about everything being clean at the end of the day. If I left even a single glass out, I'd get shit for it. Maybe fair enough. You know, maybe I should give you my number? Yeah, in case I have any trouble getting here tomorrow morning, something like that. And, hell, just in general. Seems like the right thing to do, seeing as you're new in town. Definitely. Here. That's mine. And if you message me, you know, I'll probably reply, so feel free whenever you like. It'd be nice to chat more. But for now, I'll see you to the door. You know, strikes me as pretty weird that this is the first time I've actually felt a connection with someone I've stayed late with. Like I said, it happens semi-regularly. People hanging around after closing, I mean. But normally I can't wait for them to leave. This time, though, it's like, this has been a really nice end to the day. I'm glad I met you. Thanks for keeping me company while I closed up. Sleep well.